Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic, and that's also my screen name. We are back with episode 3 of our Medieval Dynasty, season 2 run through. Today we're going to continue along through summer of year 1. We're going to be trying to get the cabbage field up and going before the end of the season, and hopefully be able to hire somebody to finally get some logs for us. We're also going to continue making the production buildings, and try to ease ourselves into the other buildings that we need for production, the kitchen, the tailor, etc. So those are our plans for today. If you learn anything useful or if you have a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, let's go ahead and load into our game. Alrighty, so here we are right where we left off last time. Let's see, we've got some meat and some other things. Oh, right. One of the first things that we need to do today is go and get our meat out of our house and put it into the food storage for when we recruit the new person. That's going to be super important. Whoop, and our trap set off. We may have to lay a new trap. So let's go ahead and doop, doop, and doop. You know what? We're going to put that trap over by the food storage. We're not going to leave it out here. Let's take the copper axe. We're going to need that. The firewood can probably go in storage. That can go in storage. Those can go in storage. And that needs to go in, oh my god, why? Alright, well, it's going to be a hell of a trek. Okay, this is a bit much. If we drop you, and let's drop like half of the roasted meat and we'll come back for it. Because I think making 2 trips is still going to be faster than making 1 trip as overburdened as we are. Yeah, we are moving more than twice as fast. So that is definitely true. But I want to get this food in there before we recruit anybody so that we don't have them immediately getting unhappy. Now our big problem is honestly going to be water. We need to build a well, and I was thinking right there in front of everything, because once we get the kitchen up, well, it looks like we don't have the kitchen placed yet, but once we get the kitchen up, it's going to be right here, because I want it right next to the food storage. So if we put the well like right here in the center of everything, we'll easily be able to get buckets, get the planks. The workshop's going to be the next thing down there. We should be able to get this stuff filled out fairly easily. So let's go ahead, and we're going to put the raw meat in here too for now, just for weight reasons. Where did my cooked meat go? There it is. Okay, so that's going to help with that. Let's go ahead and put that trap up that we were talking about right here. That way it's close to where we deposit the materials instead of clear over there by the water. I think that's going to save us quite a bit of time. And I don't want that meat to rot, so we're going to go back and grab this. Nope, first we're going to drop the rocks and things in storage here, because I was not thinking and still have them on me. So let's go ahead and we'll put the fur in there for now. We're going to take the fur and sell it when we sell the flaxseed, because we realized that fur is not the most effective thing to sell. Okay, we still have a crap ton of knives on us. That's probably part of the weight problem. Let's make the rest of these real quick, because we're going to sell those as well when we're out and about. Unfortunately, it's going to be the next day before we go out for a sail run, just because... And actually, we'll probably put the knives in here. I'm not going to put the seeds in here, because I don't want to have to split them back out again. But we are going to put the knives in here for now. We don't want to have to carry all that weight around, and everybody's going to bed here very shortly. So there's no real point in carrying all that weight around with us for something that we can't do at the moment. I just grabbed the 10 sticks back out because I noticed our hammer is just about broken. So we're going to go ahead and make another one with this log that I dropped on the ground, because that's also going to help with the weight issue. And that gives us the backup hammer for when this one breaks, because it's not long for the road. Now, I wanted to get somebody for logs right away, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Right, meat. So let's put the meat away. So I want to have some income of logs that we don't have to wait 2 years for them to grow back. But, that's not a thing that we can do right this moment because everybody's going to bed, so there's no point in running to town just to recruit somebody. That's going to be a huge waste of time and efficiency. What am I... Oh, because this one doesn't have a front. Okay. So let's get the ramps lined up, and that'll be more or less accurate to how we want it. And I want that kitchen... So this is our first kitchen. We're probably going to wind up with 3 like we did last time. But I want it right next to the food storage for cook reasons. And then it's right here by this guy for when we make rye. So that's going to save us quite a bit of effort along the way. Let's go and get ourselves some stones. I did not check to see how many it is. I'm betting it's 10. Most of the buildings have a base of 10. So we'll take 10 and see what happens. We'll probably take 12 just in case. So I think the ones that aren't 10 are 12. There may be 1 or 2 that's 16, but they're few and far between. We're also going to want to get a excavator hut up as soon as possible to get more stone, because the large houses take 108 stone, and I really don't want to have to do this for 108 rock. That's going to take forever. It looks like I grabbed quite a bit more stone than I was thinking, but that's okay. We have 16, so now we're guaranteed to be able to build the thing. Got a few sticks. Oh, those aren't plantains. Yeah, it was only 8. Overkill. That's alright. So let's put our extra rocks in here, because we know that we're not going to need any more for the rest of this build. We're also going to put the extra sticks in here, because we're going to get plenty of sticks from the tree chopping. Now, how many logs do we need for this part? We need 8. And then we're probably going to need another 16 or so. We're not going to be able to carry all that in one go, so we're going to have to stagger that a little bit. Now these, I'm going to leave the stumps here for ambiance, because they will regrow 2 years later, but they will regrow. And I kind of like the trees along the water, just not where we're trying to build. Now, some of you may have noticed, I don't know how many actually watch the cut versions, but the cut version for episode 2 is not up yet. I have had a hell of a day and just got home right before stream, so I did not have an opportunity to cut episode 2. I will try to get that out early tomorrow, but I really make no promises. We might wind up just a day behind until I get some extra time to get us caught up. Because it takes probably 3 hours to edit one of those. Because, I mean, the video itself is 2 hours, and then you've got to find the parts that you want to cut and figure out exactly where to cut, and so it's about 3 hours that goes into editing a 2-hour video. And that's just making the cuts, because I don't have any decent video software. So if I did, it would take quite a bit longer, because we would be a bit more precise with things. But since I'm using the good old junky YouTube tool, it is what it is. But at least we get to cut out some of the stuff, like how we're running around grabbing trees now. That's what a lot of the cut stuff is missing. Just the boring bits. And I did not make an extra axe. That's okay, though. We have sticks and we have rocks, because I picked up some rocks over here, so we're in good shape. Don't punch the tree, you goober. The nice thing is we're also getting quite a few feathers, and we are going to need those for making arrows once we get the hunter's shack up, which is coming soon. So we still need to do 2 quests for neighbors, and then we need to do some successful flirting. I also need to be careful. I was thinking the other day, I believe we're capped. Yeah, we're already at building cap. That's going to be a problem. We're going to have to build the hunting shack sooner rather than later. We will probably put it on the other side of... because we don't get an increase in our building cap until normally it's 5. Normally we couldn't have got as many buildings up as we did. It's only because we have the 200% going on for build cap. But we need to... it's going to make us build a hunting shack before the mission that allows us to increase our build capacity. Now the upside is we've got this over here that we can destroy, and that'll give us 1 back for the hunting shack. But we are going to have to do some quests on the next day, probably while we do our sail run. Hey Fizz, what's going on, man? It's because of your stream that I heard about DDV and have been obsessed since. I think I need compensation. DDV. Which one's DDV? I'm trying to think of what game DDV is. I'm not great with acronyms, I apologize. Disney Dreamlight Valley? I don't know that I've ever played that, man. Disney Dreamlight Valley. Are you sure it was our stream? I don't know that I've ever played that. Is it another survival game? Because if it is, I might be interested in it. I don't normally go for Disney stuff, though. About Palia. I don't remember Palia either. Was it recent or has it been a while? This was not a kitchen, this was a smithy. I built the entire wrong building. Oh, yeah, I have no recollection of that conversation, but okay. 'Cause yeah, I don't know that I've ever played Dreamlight Valley. But I might have to check it out if you're that into it. It might actually be worth the time. I can't believe I built the wrong building. That is super embarrassing. Yep, I did. I built the smithy instead of the kitchen. Why did I not... Is the kitchen not... Oh my god. Just pretend y'all didn't see that. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. Okay, so we want to get our ramps lined up again. Let's see, we need some stones. We need 8 stones. Thankfully we have them. Unfortunately, that means that we just had a huge waste of logs, and they are a very limited supply around here. But that's okay. We did get extraction XP for them and whatnot, so it's not going to be a huge deal. I might have to watch back some of the stuff, as I don't remember the conversation. I'm not saying it didn't happen, I'm just saying I don't remember it. But if you're that into that game, I might seriously need to check it out. I've been interested in Baldur's Gate, but I haven't had an opportunity yet to really get into that with the limited income and whatnot. It wasn't one of my priorities, so I was a little bit behind in getting it. I don't know that that's going to be something I stream, though. I think it's going to be too story-heavy, and I don't think most of you guys care if the armor core thing is anything to go by. So we're not really going to worry about it. But it is something that I was interested in playing, but I might have to check out that Dreamlight Valley. There should have been one more log. Oh no! We lost a log to the depths. It fell through the graphics. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts, because we're always going to be able to see it when we hit Alt. Or did it just finally go away? Nope. We are always going to be able to see that log when we hit Alt. And it's going to drive me insane, because we have no way to get down to it. Ugh. Oh, okay, that could be interesting. So we still need 6 more logs. We are also going to need some straw, so we may as well just go over and get our logs from over there. You know what? We're going to take a bunch of these berries, and this time we're not going to eat them. We are going to let these rot for rot. And hopefully turn them into some fertilizer. Because we don't have... We have the capability to put the pigs up, but we don't have them up at the moment, so... Nor do we have the funds for them. Which that might change here very soon, but I enjoyed Assassin's Creed, most of them. I think the only one that I didn't really care for was Unity. The story was kind of meh. But for the most part, I enjoyed them. The first one was super weird and clunky, and I didn't really care for the gameplay, but the story was phenomenal. But it's that way with a lot of old games. Like, I remember some of my favorite games from my teenage years and preteen years that are absolute garbage to try to play now. But I absolutely adored them back in the day. And it's just that the storylines are still good, it's just the gameplay. Where's the next one going to be? As they just did... I really enjoyed Origins, and I really enjoyed Valhalla. So I'm hoping that they do another one similar to that. I like the idea of being able to craft, I like the idea of rarity gear. I feel like it adds a bit more depth to the game. Oh, excellent. I might... let it ride, though. I've noticed lately with the AAA games, They're coming out to where they honestly should have been not open access, early access games. A lot of the AAA games lately have been super subpar. I enjoyed Odyssey, but I really liked the Valhalla for the Nordic influence. And I know most of it's historically inaccurate as all hell, but it was fun. The Origin, I enjoyed. The Odyssey, I think, was the one in Greek mythology, wasn't it? Or was that Origin? No, Origin was Egypt, wasn't it? I don't know, there have been so damn many of the things. The Egypt one was fun. I really liked that. The Greek one was phenomenally done. Especially if you know anything about Greek mythology. They did a pretty good job. Some of it was inaccurate, but most of it was spot on. The Norse one was butchered all to hell, but it was still a fun story and a fun game. Okay. And honestly, even if they butcher their historical stuff, it is a game ultimately, so as long as it's fun, it's successful. Because to me, a game, it's like movies. I enjoyed Pacific Rim. The storyline was absolute hot garbage, but you don't watch a movie like Pacific Rim expecting a deep storyline. You go into Pacific Rim expecting giant robots blowing up giant monsters, and that's exactly what you got. So it made the movie fun. And a fun movie is an entertaining movie, and that's all the more you can ask of a movie. And games are much the same way. If the storyline is deep and fantastic, awesome. If the gameplay is awesome and the storyline shallow, that's fine too, as long as you had fun. It's all about the fun to me. Okay, so we're going to have to tear this guy down, and we're going to put up a hunting shack next to... And it's actually a good spot to put our hunting shack next to the food place, because that's where the meat's going to come from anyway. I was hoping to put it further down. I would love to put it here, but we're actually going to place the workshop here. So I think maybe... yeah, I guess it's not going to hurt anything to put it here. Well, we still need a tailor, too. Oh, man. Baghdad, that should be interesting. I don't know much about the history of the Middle East beyond, like, the biblical era, and even that's kind of suspect. Because it's not historical documents, it's more the religious text. But, that's definitely different and interesting. Now, we're only going to want one of these hunting shacks. This is going to be awkward. Well, you know what? We're not going to be regularly making things out of the hunting shack. We're going to be making arrows until we get the bronze arrows. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the hunting shack back here. Can we even build it? It must not be extraction. Oh, no, it's under hunting. Yeah, I think we're going to put the hunting shack back here instead. Because once we get access to the bronze arrows, we're not going to use it anymore. It is. I'm happy to be back in the game. I very much enjoy Medieval Dynasty. It's definitely... It's a slower game, and I actually was kind of leery about streaming it because of how slow it is. I didn't think that there would be much of a call for it. And I'm actually rather pleasantly surprised with how many people that we've attracted and that are regularly interacting. I very much enjoy interacting with you guys. It definitely makes for a fun time. But I absolutely adore this game. I wasn't going to buy it. One of my friends bought it for me. I had wishlisted it, and it was just going to sit on my wish list like most of my wish list games do. Because I hadn't really heard much about it. And that, granted, this was back before 1.0 dropped. I mean, we're talking like 2021 here. But I had put it on my wish list, and one of my good friends saw it on my wish list and got it for me for my birthday. And I was like, well, I own it now, and it's a birthday present, and you need to use presents. I've always been that way. So I decided I was going to play it, and it turns out it is one of my favorite survival games ever, which is kind of surprising, but it is. It's a fantastic game, it really is. It's an unsung hero in the genre. That's for sure. And I don't think anybody ever really quits Medieval Dynasty. I think everybody takes breaks, because you can only play the same game for so long before you start to get bored. But we all come back to it. And it's just that kind of game where you kind of have to come back to it. Hey, Ken. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to explain the methods to my madness when I'm doing things. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but sometimes it does. But I'm glad that you're having a good time. That makes me happy. Luckily, I play on Xbox. It's on Game Pass for me, but I will buy it when they remove it. Fair enough. That's fair. It's a fantastic game. It really is. Right? Oh, we're gonna need another axe, aren't we? I don't know that I have enough rocks for another axe. Oh, this is not gonna end well. These things are gonna explode violently. Oh, that didn't go as bad as I thought. The two trees on each other, I figured we were gonna have some physics issues. Like that day that the one popped up and hit me in the face, even though it was laying on the ground when we chopped it. I was expecting something along those lines. Just a mini explosion of physics. I mean, I'm happy it didn't happen, but... And Steam versions over 900 hours. Love your playstyle. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I know I'm not for everybody, and recently somebody went through every single one of my recent videos for like the last 30 days or so and thumbs down them, which was kind of sad. I feel like that was kind of a targeted thing, because there's no way that my videos kept showing up on their feed after they did multiples of them. I play hunting trees in this. Yeah, right? Sometimes the trees hunt back. Just be careful. It's a very dangerous profession. But yeah, somebody went through and I'm pretty sure it was the same person, because it was like all of my most recent videos, every single one of them got a single dislike. And I mean, people aren't going to like everything that you do. I know I'm not for everybody. I'm far more analytical than most people today care to be. But yeah, that was disappointing to me. You were killed by a tree. Poor dude. I have yet to be killed by a tree, but I have honestly lost more hit points to trees than I have any animal. I've been killed by wolves, I've been killed by bandits, I've been killed by lots of stuff. I've yet to be killed by a tree, but that has been my highest hit point loss. It's just usually not enough to outright kill me. I think there have been 5 times on stream that I've been nailed in the face with a tree, and Lord knows how many off stream. Oh man, that's brutal. Did it double tap you, or just did you happen to be like solid under it when it fell on you? Yeah, the combat is crude, but combat wasn't really their general focus for the game. So, I mean, it's neat that it's in there, but yeah, it's not the smoothest that I've seen, and that's okay. It's still fun, and like I said earlier, that's all that matters in a game. You just have to be a bit more cautious than one might normally be when you're entering combat. Alright, if I grab much more, we're not going to be able to move. Oh man, all these rocks, and I can't grab them. I want a bird? He's just taunting me. Alright, so we know for the next chapter that we have to have a hunting hut up, so that's why we built this with our last available slot. I die to bandits too often. Iron cudgels, yeah. Oh, it bounced and double tapped you. Yep, that'd do it. That would definitely do it. Oh, good. We had enough straw for the roof, too. Well, I always forget the top's up here. Okay, so we need 4, 5, 6, 7 more logs. Almost done with the logs, guys. Love the rag. What's your current POP? I don't know what a POP is. I'm awful. I'm absolutely awful with acronyms. I apologize. Oh, population. In Season 2, it's actually currently 0. That's part of what we need to do to progress, is get some more people. And we will be doing that as soon as we go to town for... because we need to talk to Unagast, and we need to buy some cabbage seeds. And hopefully get that rolling before the end of the season, and maybe get a quest or 2 done, and flirt with somebody once. That's our current target goal. To try to progress a little bit. Dynasty rep should be high enough. Well, no, we're only at 75. I'm so used to Season 1 that I keep forgetting that Dynasty rep is a thing, because we had so much of it in Season 1 that I stopped worrying about it. But that's definitely something that we're going to have to watch here. Bernadette year 2. I was kind of hoping that we could find Erica again. So our Season 1, our love interest was Erica, who was a hunter. And I would absolutely adore my wife to be a hunter, because we only have to worry about her being gone for a single season, or 2 years, but for a single child. So that's going to make sure that we at least have somebody in the hunting shed all the time. And when I was a teenager, I had a huge crush on a girl named Erica, and yeah, that was a thing. Granted, that's been, 20 years, and I'm sure she's married and has kids at this point, but I honestly don't know. I don't live in... we moved around so much when I was a kid that I didn't really have a lot of interaction with people after we left. Because I went to 13 different schools growing up. We moved once a year. Of course, I wouldn't mind finding that Kazimira for a love interest either. I thoroughly enjoy her name. I think that's a really pretty name. Get the slow crawl back to town. We are very close to being able to get a donkey, by the way, which is super early. I'm very excited about that. I mean, we're in the 2nd season of the year, and we're almost a donkey. Of course, it helps that we've been able to get more stuff going on here, just because of the doubled building. And we're not going to abuse the doubled building. Like, I might do 2 different towns. We're probably going to try to keep it under 60. 6 schools. You moved every year from 10 to 15. Any thoughts for name on a donkey? I don't think we can name the donkeys. I could be wrong, though. I named my last donkey Donkey, so, I mean, I'm not super creative when it comes to names. I've always been that way. I actually had a cat named Cat for a number of years when I was, when I had first moved out of home. I was 18, 19 when I got her. And, yeah, I named her Cat. And she was my little buddy. Oh no! I didn't realize that we had to buy the scheme for stone arrows. That is a problem. Alright, now we definitely have to get to town. I'm actually going to intentionally put these berries over here. You can name all of the animals. You named one donkey chicken. That's awesome. I didn't realize that we could name the animals. I am definitely going to have to do something with that in this stream. You know what? We could do votes on animal names as we get animals. That's a very real possibility. That could be fun. I don't know if I want to put them in here to get them to rot faster, or if I want to build one of the things to make them rot right away. Let's see. I believe it's under miscellaneous? Maybe containers? Not containers. Miscellaneous. There it is. 4 logs each. We know that we're going to need at least 2 of these, but I think that's a really good idea. I think we're going to put these into bins. Why am I still overweight? Yeah, I think the bins are going to be better because we're going to need them right away for the rye for next season. I think I forgot to put the sticks and rocks back in storage. I think that's why we're overweight. Alright, so let's... Yeah, we're moving way too slow. We're going to have to put some of this stuff... Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. You know what? Let's do this real quick. So that'll help a little bit. Yep, that helped a lot. Okay, so these are 2 logs each, and birch give 2 logs, so this should work out just perfectly with 2 trees. We were able, with 2 compost bins last time, to fully supply 2 fields just fine. So, and hopefully we're not going to actually need these for very long. We're going to try to get pigs up fairly quickly once our build cap is increased. So right now we're at 10, which we actually should not have been able to get away with as many buildings as we have up, because generally it's 5 until we progress through chapter 4, I believe. But it is the way that we set it up in the beginning. So that's definitely going to make us a bit of a smoother start. And we may or may not wind up using the entirety of our increased available building space. The main reason that I did it was so that we would have it available should we want to. And we might even go so far as to do 2 villages instead. Why are you not placing? Oh, not enough resources. It did say 2 logs, right? It's 4 logs. I don't know why I thought it was 2. Use pig style full populated for manure. Oh, yeah, fully populated pig building is way too much for what we have planned. We were able to easily cover 3 fields year-round with manure. Well, 3 seasons worth. With just 2 pigs. So basically everything past the 2, every time they bred, because we got a male and a female, we would take the oldest of whatever gender the baby happened to be when it grew to adulthood. We would take the oldest and sell them and just keep it at 2. And we still wound up with a dearth of fertilizer. Mostly because you could harvest extra from the... Well, you could harvest extra from the building itself, but you could also harvest extra from, like, the donkey and the horse and the goats. So we wound up with so much poop, we didn't know what to do with it. We had almost 3,000 thrown in a corner in storage just because it was too heavy to keep in storage anymore. It was nuts. Alright, but we really need to get to town. And we really need to progress our chapters so that we can get an increase on our building cap. That is definitely going to be super important very shortly. Okay. So we've got these two. Let's throw our berries in. Yeah, that's... we still need more. That is what it is. I also want to cook up this meat and eat some of it before we leave. I don't think 2 is going to be enough. I think we're going to have to pull some out of the storage. 12,000 manure per season? Oh, man. That's way, way more than we could use. Alright, I would love to make more knives out of the stones that we have, but I'm honestly afraid that we are already overweight. Is that going to give us poison levels? Not yet. So let's take... oh, we don't want all of it. Let's take some of this to eat. Not one either. We want... let's take like 25. Meat. Our guy is currently a carnivore. Mostly because that's all that he has access to. You know what? 20 is not going to hurt. Now, why am I trying to put stuff in there now? 5 farms set up. 3 food stalls. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't selling much of food. Most of our food came from the cabbages. Okay, that's way more feathers than we actually need. So let's take the fur, because we know we're not going to use fur to make money. Let's take the stone knives that we made. Okay, we're still in good shape movement-wise. Let's take this oat ale. We'll sell that. And feathers, I guess. I don't want to take them all. I want to leave at least 30, so let's do 238. There we go. So now we got plenty of stuff to sell. Cool cabbage rolls, pork filling. No, we were doing potage with cabbage and 3 meat. As it also gives them water, so that keeps them a little happy. Good call on resources left. Yeah, potage is the most efficient food. It's not the best food, not even close, but it is the most efficient food for resources required versus gains made. And I am all about efficiency. Yeah, we did pretty well in Season 1. I did some stupid stuff in the beginning because it had been 2 years since I'd played the game. So some of the stuff in the beginning, don't hold it against me. We were still relearning how to play everything, and our first encounter with bandits was absolutely hilarious because I didn't realize they'd been added to the game. So I heard some footsteps and turned around and there was a guy running up on me and I didn't think anything of it because villagers don't attack you. And he stabbed me in the face. It was pretty embarrassing. Oh yeah. Yeah, Season 1 came to a bit more of an abrupt end than I was hoping. I was hoping to do some stuff with the tavern before we stopped it, but we wanted to go to Sengoku when it dropped, and we did. We went all the way through Sengoku, which is still a little shallow as far as the game goes, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else did too, but it's one that's going to sit on a shelf for a little bit until they add more to it. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I tend to be a little socially awkward, so I'm actually kind of surprised that you feel that way, but I do very much appreciate the sentiment. My brain does not work the way most people's does. I shouldn't have grabbed the berries. We're overburdened now. That was an oopsie. I don't know. How have you dropped the delay? The delay in chat? Between the message showing up and me responding to it? There's a setting in YouTube where you can make it, I have it set to, oh, okay, so in YouTube I have the delay set to, as, there's 4 options. There's really slow, which gives you the best performance. There's slow, which gives you better performance. There's fast, which is recommended for high engagement, which is what we're at. So there's about a 3-second delay between your message popping and or between what I'm doing and what you guys are seeing. There's about a 3-second delay. And then there's one that's an even less delay, but that one is my PC cannot handle being that that little of a delay, so I have to keep that 3-second delay in there. There's also a setting in OBS, which I use for streaming, that you can set up a delay, but I have that one set to 0. So OBS is sending as it's happening, and then YouTube has a 3-second delay before it's updating it. So I have the second to last of 4 settings, which is high engagement. And I think when you go to edit your stream, or stream settings, it's under stream settings while you're streaming. I use OBS because I'm poor and OBS is free. So, to be fair, Streamlabs might be too, but OBS was the first one I was made aware of, so it's the one that I took. Okay, who are you? You're Bernadetta. Who are you? You're Blanca. You know what, Bernadetta, we're gonna flirt with you once. It's not gonna be anything serious, lady. Huh? Okay, perfect. So that should have taken care of our... Yep. So that took care of our requirement for flirting. So we need somebody for extraction. He's only got a 2. She's got a 2. Blanca is not hireable. I've found, honestly, that if I try to treat the NPCs like actual people, they do fairly well. Every now and then you get something that's bizarre, or a personality that's super weird. But generally speaking, the NPCs, if you treat them like you would a real normal person, they respond fairly well to that. We're gonna have some issues trying to carry enough... Okay, we need cabbage before we do rye. So cabbage seeds, we're gonna want 100. We really want 200, but we're gonna have to do 100 just for, there's no way in hell we're gonna get 2 fields done before this season's over, so that is what it is. Okay. Yeah, the donkey's gonna help a lot. We need 16 more. Okay, so there's our 100 there. We are gonna have weight problems trying to carry 100 fertilizer back with us. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. As we have 30 kilograms to deal with, and I believe fertilizer is... Yeah, fertilizer is a lot. We might be overburdened the entire way home. We are also probably not going to get the quests done like I had hoped. Slow train to Toledo, indeed. 4 more. Okay, and then we can sell more flaxseed. So how are we doing on... Heesh. Yeah, this is going to be rough. I hate to waste stones, but we might have to sell him these just to get that weight reduction. Let's see what we can find with sticks in the village. And actually, we might see if one of these guys requires like a stone axe or something. I think that'll help too. We're not moving that bad, but this is going to be a long road if we leave it like this. Yeah, I know. If once the numbers go red, you don't move at all.
Hello, traveler.
Can I help you with something? Last night, a terrible storm. Gather resources. Okay, that one's going to take too long. Because he's going to want a bunch of logs and things. So that's not a reasonable request for us. Unfortunately, the other one out there in the field is going to be Alvin, or Alwyn. So that's not really going to help either. We may as well pick up his quest. But we're not really going to be able to help him. I suppose we could drop... You know what? Let's help dude with resources. We can take the trees from around here, and we can just leave the fertilizer on the ground and pick it back up. That way we'll actually be able to get it done with some alacrity.
How can I help?
I think. Okay, so let's see what he needs. 37 sticks and 7 logs. Well, we've got 25 of the sticks already. Why? What's... No, no, no. Where did our HUD go? Our HUD completely disappeared. Okay. We're gonna... Quick save? We're gonna save game. And we're gonna load. Because, our HUD's gone. Yeah, completely. Like, we can still do stuff, but it's... I don't know if I hit a key? Is there... Oh. Never mind, we're not gonna load. That was just me being stupid. Nobody mind the guy behind the screen. I don't know why that activated. There's probably a hotkey that I pressed and didn't realize I pressed it. But that was definitely bizarre. At least it was easy enough to fix. I totally forgot to drop our fertilizer before I started this. Okay, let's come up here a little bit. We'll drop our fertilizer at the edge of their field here. Potato moment. That's not the worst thing I've heard of it. Okay, so Diplomat is more Dynasty points. I think that's going to be the best way to go. We're only going to put 1 point in that to get down here further. Because Barter is next. So we'll fill out Barter. And then we're going to go for Castellan and then Creative Accounting. Just like we did last time. So we already know where we're going with our skills because of Season 1, so... Alright, there's 50 kilograms off our backs, and we can come pick that back up when we're done with what we're doing. Now we are going to need another axe. So we only need 7 logs. We only need 1 more stick. Whoa. Ah, that tree was hunting me. Right like you said. Alright, there's 8 logs. That'll do. We can always make something stupid out of one of them. Just to get rid of it. And we've got 30... Oh, we need 37 sticks. We've got 30. So let's grab some extra sticks as well. 35. Right? Murderous trees. Alright, so let's drop all this stuff on him and then we'll pick that fertilizer back up. That'll at least get one of these quests complete for us. Alright. Now, I don't know if Alwyn's first quest will count, or if it actually has to be, one of the pickup quests. I'm Alwyn. I don't recognize you. You're new here. I came from the south looking for a new place for myself where I can start a new life. Good luck to you, then. Continue. As for me, I'm a farmer. My job is to cultivate fields. In fact, I do the same work every day, year by year. Doesn't it get boring over time? If I were you, I would die of monotony. That's fair. Of course it bores me. How long can you do the same thing in your life over and over again? But my family needs my help, and I'm doing my best to provide for them. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry. There's no need for you to apologize. I'm a little bit annoyed and short-tempered recently. There's a delicate matter that won't let me focus on my work. What's that, Alwyn? Maybe I could come to your aid. It may seem petty, but I'm really tired of my mother's conflict with with the lady. Her son Dalibor won't leave my little sister Olga alone. I understand it's just a game for him. After all, when I was his age, I played with Dobromira, his older sister. I pretended to be a knight equipped with a stick instead of a sword, but I always managed to protect her honor. Like every knight does, it's adorable in its own way. Anyway, let's get down to earth. I think he needs something to keep him busy and away from my sister. So that you could work with a clear mind again, huh? It would be nice indeed. I'll see what I can do. I remember this quest. This quest isn't super bad. And we already have a stick on us, so... we just gotta go talk to the kiddo and convince him that he needs to play knights instead. Oh, thank you. I read a lot. Like, a lot. I have a library of a little over 600 books, and I have read them all at least once, most of them more than once. And I tend to read about a novel every 3 days. It is my second favorite hobby after gaming. You look very strong for your age. Have you ever thought of becoming a knight? It's my dream. Are you a knight? No, but I know quite a lot about them. Did you know that many of them started learning to fight with a wooden sword already at your age? Where would I get such a sword, not a knight? It just so happens that I have one with me, and I can give it to you because you are clearly worthy. I'm honored. It may look inconspicuous, but it is certainly an excellent practice weapon for an aspiring knight like you. Give stick. It looks like a regular stick. Just surprise your opponents. Surprise! And do you know what else knights do besides fighting battles? They ride horses? Well, that as well. But most of all, they protect ladies and children from danger and make sure that no harm is done to them. Really? Sounds like a lot of work. Yes, it's the most important principle of chivalry. My favorite genre is actually medieval fantasy. I do also enjoy modern fantasy and futuristic fantasy, but and quite a bit of sci-fi. There are occasional other things that I'll read, but mostly it's fantasy and sci-fi. Alright, thank you for the sword, not a knight. I'm going to go defend those in need. You're welcome. Excellent. Now we go back and talk to Alwyn again. What did I pick up that were super heavy again? That log. That log's got to go. You know what? We're going to need another... because of course we don't have enough sticks. We're going to need another hoe anyway, and the hoe weighs significantly less than a log. Okay, maybe not significantly less, but it does weigh less than a log. We still need more. How many stones do we have on us? 10. So if we can get 50 sticks, we'll be able to cut our weight down possibly to manageable levels. So after we talk to Alwyn, who went back into town, we need to try to sell the rest of our flax seeds to other people, just to get the coinage up. Because there are some recipes that I still want us to buy. I'm rewatching the Foundation series, read the books when they were originally published. I don't know that I've read Foundation. Some of my favorite authors are Brandon Sanderson, Jim Butcher, Kevin Hearn. So I'm running around the village with a stick. You must have an amazing gift of persuasion. This young one does not listen to anyone. You gave me an idea with the stick and the story about a knight. By the way, I got this bread from Dobromira as an apology for her brother's behavior, but I think you earned it. Here, take it. Thank you. No problem. It's the most refined bread you've eaten. Our Castellan's wife makes them in our local tavern. Oh, do you happen to know the man in charge, Unagast, as well? No, not really. I spend most of the time in the field, and our paths only cross when it's time to pay taxes. Alright, I'll see you soon. That did not count. What are your plans for consistent income here? I am still a long way from being monetized. As much as I would love to make money doing this, I don't want to sell out for the quick clicks. I absolutely adore my community, so it's just going to take time. We're just keep doing what we're doing, and if people like it, awesome, and if they don't, then I'll keep doing what I have to do in real life to make ends meet.
My wares never disappoint.
I didn't actually plan to become monetized when I set out. It was just a thing that I wanted to do for fun with friends, and so far it's been working out pretty well that way.
Soon.
We are getting up there. I mean, we're not monetized, we're not anywhere close to being monetized, but if we continue apace, it probably, by the, I would say another year and a half maybe.
Best goods in the valley.
But it's not really a major goal of mine. I'm happy just being me.
Have a good day.
Honestly, the only thing that's really holding us back is subscribers. We have the watch hours already to become monetized. It's just subscribers that I'm lacking in. But like I said, it's not one of my major goals. I am waiting for the archery quest. Wasn't referring. Oh, you meant in game. I'm sorry. I completely misread that situation. That's on me. Well, for money, I have a video out of the most efficient use of each resource. Oh, you partnered December 2022. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. We're not going to get the field done. I don't even know that we're going to get home before night falls. Oh, we never talked to Unagast either. That's alright. We're going to miss out on the first season of Cabbage. I might need to purchase 100 rye while we're here. But yeah, I have a video out for the most efficient use of resources that we set up during Season 1. I think I enjoy watching new streamers more than established ones. That's fair. I feel like a lot of people start to coast after a while. I've noticed that with some of the streamers that I used to watch. If you watch their current stuff, a lot of them don't even play anymore, or if they do, it's very rarely. Mostly they do reaction stuff, and that's just not fun for me. Unfortunately, our farmhand already went to sleep. Oh, absolutely. But, yeah, I went through the math of everything. We used derivative math to determine what the most efficient use of each resource was. And that's why we're doing things like we're selling the fur. We're not even going to bother using fur. We're going to... So, sticks for ladles is going to be the first main thing on top of stone knives. The second thing that we're going to shoot for is flax, obviously. The seeds sell really, really well and they're light. But on top of that, you can make, I think it's shirts. The simple tunics are the best use of flax up until you can unlock the cap. And at the point that you get the cap, it becomes the best use of flax. Once you get sheep and have access to wool, your best use of flax is actually to make the hats instead. They are the most efficient cost-wise. And then I have a whole list written out. I hadn't really thought about it over much just yet. We know what the early stuff is, so we've only really been focusing on that at the moment. Yep. Well, I went through and did a complete derivative math breakdown of each item and which one would give you the most yield for each material. It was like an hour long of just math, and then I made a shorter version of it for without the math. That just tells you the value in the items. But I noticed when I was trying to research what the most efficient use, or what the best way to make money was, There seems like there's no two people on the damned internet that agree. So I went ahead with effort. Yes. Not so much the effort. We were going purely off of a worth of a resource. How many coins per that resource can you expect for return? It didn't take into account crafting time. It also, I did take into account weight to an extent. I made mention of weights, but at the time I had the market stalls, so it was not part of my equation. And I did say that, like, the baskets are actually a better use of sticks than the ladles are, provided you have the markets, because it takes less percentage of your labor. The ladles and spoons are equal, and the baskets are actually equal as well, money per stick. The problem is the baskets are slightly heavier than 5 ladles would be, so it was better to make the ladles if you don't have the stalls. If you do have the stalls, it's better to make the baskets, because 5 sticks go into them, and it's the same amount per stick, so it takes you less labor to sell them and less labor to craft them. And I went into those details as well during that video. Value income for raw resources versus finished product and time harvesting and crafting. Well, a lot of the time, most of the stuff that we were making, I wasn't actually harvesting myself. I had my my people working on it, so to speak. Like, all of our log and stone income, well, I guess some of our stone income came from me futzing around in the mines. But for the most part, like, our sticks and our logs and our firewood and our food, all of that came from villager work. I didn't actually have to input anything for it. And I did put in the caveat that the most efficient thing to craft to sell is something that you already have the ingredients for. Yeah, to an extent. But it wasn't part of our derivative math equation. We were just going hard numbers. That's something that's going to be very difficult to actually math out because of the way that the skill levels work. How much you get out of each person is so highly variable that it's not something that you can put out there that's going to work for everyone. It's if you figure their labor into it other than just actual time taken, or rather than just their labor percentages, then level is going to matter. And at that point, you would have to do a breakdown for every one of the 10 levels. And actually, for places that have more than one person, you would wind up doing 40 or 50 different breakdowns, possibly more, based on combinations of level of people in the platform. Yeah, we were just dealing with the hards. Yep, didn't quite make it home. Almost. Well, poop. So that's going to kind of suck because that means that we don't have any cabbage for food for this season, but that's okay. We are going to start out... Where's our nearest quest? We've got one in Denica. We do have one in Gastovia. So we might head back to Gastovia and see if we can find a producer to put into the farm or the log area. I was really hoping to get those dropped off before season end. Okay, so we've got feathers. Let's put our fertilizer away because that's going to weigh us down. It's just me and my work. Both the soft and hard points of equations. Yeah, just sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. And I didn't feel like it was worth it for that particular what I was doing. But we did go pretty in depth. It might be worth checking out. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to put this meat over here. Because they will eat mostly rotted meat, and we can't, so we're going to go ahead and put our roasted meat in here. And are you going to be poisonous? Doesn't show any poison on this yet, so we'll take 10 out of here, or 20 out of here. The meat we're going to go ahead and cook because that's going to reset its rot timer. Because some of it's at 50 because I had stuff in my inventory when the season changed. So this is going to bump the timers back up to 100% for condition. And that's going to definitely be a help. Okay, so we've got our fertilizer put away. We should have some more rot out of here. Yep. I really wish we'd been able to get these berries in there first, but it is what it is. That's still 26 fertilizer that we got out of the rot, so that's going to help. Now we have 126, so that's good. The fur we're going to keep on us because we're headed back to town. I think most people who enjoy play MD don't leave for good. Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. The game is fantastic. It was a completely unique concept when it was started, and they've done a phenomenal job on it. They really have. And it's still a very unique gameplay experience. There's not really anything else really like it. I mean, you've got Sengoku Dynasty now, but even then there's stuff, it's quite a bit different. It's not exactly like Medieval Dynasty. Oh, excellent. Okay, so let's head back to town yet again. I really don't want to marry the gal that we were talking to. That was just to progress the quest. I don't like her name. I know that's a really shallow reason, but it's a video game. We can afford to be shallow. Well, Wild West Dynasty is still kind of a shit show, apparently, as far as the bugs go. So I just avoided that one. I never actually picked it up. I have a friend who has it. Well, a Steam friend. It's not somebody I know in real life. Like, the dude that bought me Medieval Dynasty way back in the day was a friend in real life. But, I have a Steam friend that played the Wild West Dynasty, and he said it's basically still hot garbage. They are making it better, but it's not fantastic. And you can't really blame Toplets for that. They're just the producers. Like, the actual studio that designed the games is different for all three. I believe Sengoku, Medieval, and Wild West. Extra feathers never go awry. Alright, we definitely need to make sure to save enough money to purchase fur. The design studios... Yeah, right. Yeah, Toplet's just the producer. And I think that's why they have a section of Medieval Dynasty on the Toplets Discord, but Medieval Dynasty has its own Discord, and I think that one's actually run by the developer. I could be wrong on that, though. I'm not entirely sure who runs it for sure. Maybe they just have 2. But I think that's why there are 2. That's my theory, anyway. Alright. I wasn't planning on making a bunch of knives along the way, but I'm worried that we're not going to have enough money for the fur clothing after we buy the rye to plant in the field. So I think grabbing these stones is probably a good idea. So we really don't have much in the way of things to sell currently. And then we'll just snag a crap ton of sticks along the way. So watching Sengoku. Toplets does one medieval dynasty themselves. Oh, hello. Oh, that was some feathers, at least. Alright, I gotta stop picking up rocks. We don't have the weight for this. We need more sticks to get the weight back down. And hopefully we don't encounter any bandits or anything through here, because we are moving slow. I believe there's a follow-up studio copying. Oh, really? Well, that tends to be the way of it, though. In all honesty, the people that are the first to do something are almost never the best at it, because they designed it, so they're the ones that found all the kinks. Generally speaking, the people that follow up do a better job, and it is general. There are special occasions that it's not true. But most of the time, when you have somebody that develops something truly unique as far as gaming goes, a lot of the follow-ups are actually better than the original. But the thing to remember is, if you're the best at something, you can always be replaced. If you were the first, you can never be replaced. But that tends to be the way of it. The more something is done, the better it gets, because they build upon what the last people have done right and ignore what they screwed up. That's why competition is so very, very important for innovation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. They're fixing the issues. The only real complaints that I have about Medieval Dynasty are, like, the combat system isn't as smooth as I would like, but they didn't design it around combat, so it's understandable. But I would be willing to bet that anybody that makes a decent copy that's not just after a cash grab but actually takes the time to make a decent, similar game will probably have better combat, because I'm not the only one that thinks that way. I also don't like that we are gated in how many buildings we can build from the get-go. I feel like that's kind of frustrating. How many buildings total, I understand for save reasons, but I feel like that the fact that you're stuck at 5, or in our case 10, because we did the 200% building, until you progress the first couple of chapters, that's an arbitrary gatekeeping tactic, and I'm not particularly fond of that, but it is what it is. The other problem that I have with that is they don't tell you about the building cap in anything that pops up until after you've hit it. So, like, most people that I know, when they play their first game of this, they come up against the building cap before they realize that they have to build the hunting shack for the chapter quests, or even do the chapter quests at all. I know I did. On my very, very first playthrough of the game, I was stuck and had to destroy some of my hard-fought buildings because we didn't know as much about the game back then. I didn't... Well, yeah, it was my first playthrough. I didn't know anything about it. So trying to get resources was quite a bit more difficult than it is for me now. And when I first came up against that hard cap, I was super upset. Yes, multiplayer and the new map are going to be absolute game changers. I'm super stoked for the new map to explore things that nobody else has, that kind of stuff. Okay, Bernadette's a good farmer. We might take her on in the village. She is definitely not going to be our wife, because I don't like her name. It's wonderful. But you come at a poor time. My duties as Castellan await me. Of course, I understand. Is everything alright? Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. There's been a murder. Oh my, I thought things like that didn't happen around here too often. Because they don't. I'm just about to go to the crime scene and question the witnesses, and I honestly don't know what to expect. I'm sure you'll take good care of the matter. Time will tell. Yes, it will. Jokes aside, that's really a serious matter. I won't be able to share more stories with you at the moment, but I believe there is someone you should meet. His name is Sambor. He was one of us. The pack, I mean. Are you serious? And he lives here in the valley? That's right. All of them do, actually. Here, I've marked his house on your map. You should pay him a visit. Great, we'll go there right away. That, sir, was a lie. We are not going there for quite a while. But beware, calling Sambor friendly is like calling being stung by a bee right in the tip of your manhood pleasant. Fantastic. That actually describes him rather adequately. Oh, I'm sure you're exaggerating. He was part of the reminders, after all. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'll be on my way, then. Alright. We're not actually going to pursue that quest right now. To go in half an hour. Supper's finished. That's okay. We've only got about 40 minutes left anyway, so you're not going to miss too terrible much. Alright, Edwin, what you need, buddy? You lost your bow or someone stole it. I can't make bows yet, bud. And I don't think there's anybody in town that'll sell them. I think I'd have to go way down to the Who's It to get one. Alright, so let's get into your wares at least. So we're going to need some rye. Generally speaking, I don't know what time zone you're in. If you're in the US, we are in the Eastern time zone. And I generally try to stream between 6 and 8 p.m. If you're not in the US and go off of the GMT, I actually just looked it up today. And we are currently minus 4 hours GMT. And again, 1800 to 2000. We barely had enough money for that. I don't know that we're going to have enough money now for the woolen clothes. Although we might. Oh, we have 3,000. Okay, we have a lot more than I thought we did. For some reason, I thought that we only had... Yeah, we're up to 4,000 already. I thought that we were down to like a couple hundred. Oh, you're in Canada, Mountain Time. Okay. I used to live in Mountain Time, actually, up until last year. Till I moved back home. Finally. Finally got back to where I started. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I still have a bunch of friends that live in Mountain Time Zone. I lived in Montana for several years. Right. Yeah, it should be 5:20 your time. Or 17:20, depending on which type of clock you go off of.
See you soon.
I didn't like it. I really didn't like it there. For a myriad of reasons, but I don't really have much nice to say about it, other than it's an absolutely gorgeous place to visit. And you should absolutely check it out at least once in your life. But don't hang around. The state's motto is come on vacation, leave on probation. They can and will find anything to either get you into their system or fine you. Or at least the county I was in, and maybe it's just that particular county, but yeah. I don't know. I need to stop talking about it because I don't have very many fond memories of Montana, and I lived there for a number of years. I did make some really great friends, but for the most part, most of my experiences in that area were not happy, and I don't want to be super negative, so it's best just not to talk about it. Ah, we ran out of rocks. Excellent.
Hello. Only the best products here.
Alright, so let's get rid of the rest of our knives here. Alright, so we've got 4 grand. We definitely need to make it this season down to, there weren't any producers, were there? Two, no. Or not producers, harvesters. So we definitely need to make it over to, Danica. It is really pretty, especially if you visit, like, the state parks. Glacier's really pretty, up by Hungry Horse and whatnot. You have... how much for taxes? My taxes aren't going to be that bad. Yeah, it's only going to be... it's $98, or 98 coins right now. It's not going to be super bad. And we'll have enough for it when it rolls around, because we're going to wind up selling a bunch of rye, because we don't have the means to make the kitchen tier 2 yet, or to get the recipe for making the flatbread that I would like to sell. So we're just going to make money straight off the rye direct. Oh, okay. I've actually met quite a few people from Alberta when I lived in Montana. Really nice people, usually. Accent can be a little thick. Not everybody had one, but the ones that did were super hard to understand. But they were all really nice people. Even the ones that were difficult to understand were super chill about it. They had no problem slowing down and saying things multiple times so you could understand them. Super friendly. Oil field forestry and farming. So basically like Montana, except you actually have farming. Most of Montana's ranching, because not much will grow there. There's too much alkali in the soil. They get sugar beets, and that's pretty much it. The corn that they grow is not for human consumption usually. It's feed corn for animals. The sugar beet factory in Montana had a very interesting smell. It was one that I had never encountered before. It actually smelled like melted butter when it was in production. And you could smell it across the entire town. It was super weird. The very first season we were there when they started it up after the harvest, I was like, what is that smell? It smells like somebody just melted a tub of butter and left it sit. Not like rancid, but... oh, okay. I'm surprised sugar grows that far north. You guys must have decent soil. Yeah, I'm back in some of the best farming land in the U.S. again, back where I was born, and it's really nice here. The regular dirt, like if you go out into your backyard and dig past the topsoil, it's black earth. Okay, so we need to head down to Danica post-haste because we need to make sure that we do not forget to get our furs this time. I'm not going to huddle by campfires. Campfire hop my ass all the way down there to get fur again. Oh, hello. Ooh, a bronze axe. Score. Rich soil, semi-desert in the south. Okay, so yeah, you actually have quite a diverse area near you. That's kind of cool. I know I lived for a couple of years down in Arizona in various parts as well, and that the desert can suck. It definitely can. The rule of thumb for living in the desert is everything in the desert is trying to kill you. The sun, the insects, the plants, the animals, everything in the desert is trying to kill you. We could probably grab some of these rocks here and some more sticks and see about possibly getting ourselves even more money while we get our fur. Especially since we don't have to stand around and wait for the craft of the sticks in this playthrough. That's going to make a big difference. So let's go ahead and snag as many of these sticks as we can. Yeah, Montana was like that too. There were several weeks each winter where it was -40 Fahrenheit. I'm not entirely sure what the conversion is. I think it's like 32 point something. I don't remember. My chem classes have failed me. We figure 0 Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit. So, it's going to be thereabouts. I know there's an odd conversion. There's a fraction involved. I just don't remember exactly what it is anymore. I really wish that we would get off of the Imperial bandwagon and go to metric just to fit in with everybody else. That was one of my favorite things about science classes, particularly in college, is the metric system is much easier to follow. Things mean things there. It's not just random allotments. And almost everything is done in the decimal number system instead of like inches to feet is a 12 number system instead of a 10 number system. And it gets super confusing. It's like dealing with oct in computer language. It's a pain in the ass. We might encounter some wolves through here. Oh. Did we get enough for our... Okay, that's... Okay, athletes max, so let's finish off survival. And that's going to allow us to start putting points into solid as a rock, which is awesome. And then we finished that off, so let's go for cooking next, because that's going to be our next big thing. We really need to get one more level of hunting. We're close. So maybe encountering wolves won't be necessarily such a bad thing. Now the nice thing to remember about... Oh shit, he got away. That was a mess. Oh no, that arrow broke. Oh no, it didn't. I was just out of stamina. The nice thing to remember about hunting is you get XP for killing and XP for skinning. British Imperial, USA Imperial, and the metric system. Fantastic. That's got to be confusing. Alright, let's see if any of you are worth our time. Come on! All I need's an extractor, guys. You're killing me. Alright, where's the tailor? She's in her hut. Hey, Matilda.
Only the best products here.
Alright, so we want the fur hood. Just one, please. Fur shoes. and thick gloves. I think trousers with cuffs. Yep. Okay, so that cost us quite a bit, but that's okay. We've got some knives that we can sell. That didn't get us most of it back. It allows you to deal with about 70%, 70 to 80% of the world population. Indeed. Indeed it does. So first shoes. And trousers with cuffs, thick leather gloves, and fur shoes. Oh, and fur hood. Okay. So we should be good come winter. And with our shift for
Have a good day.
increased temperature tolerance, we should be actually in pretty good shape for that as well. Where'd you go?
Hey, old friend. Best goods in the valley.
So let's sell her these feathers that I noticed we forgot to sell. And any fur that we have. We don't have any fur. Okay. Okay. And we can't sell her the Racemere clothing, so that is what it is.
See you soon.
But if we get one more point into our tolerances for temperature, you die often from dehydration or hunger. I don't terrifically often. Most of the time that I've died from things like that were because I was not paying attention during long crafts, which thankfully this time around we are not doing the crafting timing, so that's definitely not going to be as big of an issue. Oh man, there were 2 eagles there. Wait, were there was a quest in Danica. We need to pick that up. Well, I decided that since we're streaming and since we already did one completely vanilla to the end of the unique buildings, that for this one we would do the fast crafting, just to make things more interesting for viewers, so that we're not sitting there 20 minutes making 16 knives kind of a thing. Or the fact that I was spending an hour and a half to 2 hours after each stream with 3 fields of rye trying to thresh and craft the stuff. So now that'll be more or less instantaneous. I did not expect... I knew it was going to change the... Yeah, I know. I just checked. That's why I turned around and came back. The quest marker.
A newcomer.
What do you need? Winter's coming. You have no food stored. Can you please bring some grain? I'll be back with the grain. What's he need? Not Alan. Destroyed crops. He wants oat grain.
How's life? Only the best products here.
He's got 184 of it, and he wants 29 oat grain. Like, he is the farmer, and he's asking for oat grain.
Have a good day.
Alright, so now we need to hunt 3 boar or fox. Wait, did that boost our... It did. It boosted our build cap, so we now have 20 available. So we definitely need to visit the piggies that are right up here. Since our first village was over in this area, we know it fairly well, so we know there's some pigs over here. We completely skipped over most of Chapter 4. Alrighty, man. Have a good one. Alright, where's our piggies? There should be 3 of them over here. Oh, there's one. There's 2. Ah! I really needed to let the stamina come back before I started firing. There's 3 down there. That was an oopsie. So that should get us into Chapter 5. It's also going to get us more meat, which is never a bad thing. I forgot to pick up the recipe for stone arrows too. That was foolish. Alright, where's our misses? There's one of them. Alright, where'd that other pig go? Oh, right, they don't glow yet because we don't have a high enough hunting level. I keep trying to do that and forgetting. Here, piggy, piggy, piggy. Yeah, hi. Sweet. This should give us enough leather that we can actually skip over all of Chapter 5, too. Oh. Because, yeah, we should be able to just make a single simple bag right now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so carrot seed and wheat grain. What a waste. I'm not going to use any of that. I think we can pick some up in Danica, provided they haven't gone to bed yet. While we're right here. I'm pretty sure they had a farmer. The fertilizer we're not going to have to buy because we've got that at home. Oh good, he didn't go to bed yet.
How's life treating you?
Oh, carrots and wheat? Carrots and wheat, 15 of each.
Whatever you need, I've got it.
So we're going to buy 15 carrot seed. It was seeds, right?
Goodbye.
Yes.
Hail, friend. My wares never disappoint.
So here's our carrot seed and then our wheat grain down in W. 15 of that as well.
Have a good day.
Perfect. So when those disappear, now we can sell these right back to the guy for a loss, but it progresses the quest, so it is what it is. So let's come on down to wheat. So we're not going to bother fooling with wheat. Yeah, none of you guys are harvesters. We really need harvesters to get that, to get our, logging going. So we could head up to Rolnica and Tukti and them and see if any of them have harvesters, but I'm not really going to worry about it right this moment. Now there should be some wolves off over here. Right, we still can't see them. Also, arrows are a very real problem. I should stop hunting things until we get more arrows. We have 3, so we'll probably be okay. But all it's going to take is a couple of misses and we're screwed. So we're just going to head home and use our arrows if we have to defend ourselves. We should have the money right now, and badgers are ridiculously overpowered. I mean, to be fair, they are in real life too, but they are ridiculously overpowered. Stone arrows. Workshop, maybe? I don't know where the recipe for the stone arrows is, because it said that we had to buy the recipe. I definitely want to start getting some of the copper stuff here very soon. Oh, did we get the sewing hut? We did get the sewing hut. I didn't realize when we unlocked it. Alright, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe in the hunting fishing? Ah ha ha! Stone arrows. And a bird trap. Okay. So that's going to help us out quite a bit. We're also going to need to get a bath and a well up fairly soon. And a workshop. And. There are lots of things that we need to build right now. But we only have 10 to play with at the moment, so we're going to have to be kind of cautious as to how we handle that. Alright, are we going to need a new... Yep, we need a new rabbit trap too. So So we're going to go ahead and put up our new rabbit trap, and we're going to put up a bird trap. So just turn you to where you're flush with the building. And close enough. And then the same with the bird trap. You know, we could probably just leave them sideways, honestly. It's really not that big of a deal. Alright, so we did get quite a bit of meat, which is definitely going to help. So go ahead and put that in storage. Let's see. Let's put 18 of it away. That'll leave us with 20 on us. So we do know that we can put the... There it is. We can put our cabbage seed away because we missed the season on that one, which is disappointing, but it is what it is. We can put our Rismere stuff in there. And our rocks. And our sticks. And we need to pull out our at least 15 of our fertilizer. Sure, why not? That's a random assortment. Okay, now it's going to make us grub up the field. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's a good thing that we built the new field, because we still need to do all of that stuff for the mission. Now, what is the reward for this? Is this going to give us another build increase? Yes. So it's going to boost us to 20, which is what we're currently at. So I'm assuming it's going to let us have 40. Which will put us almost to what the original cap is. That's going to be really, really awesome. So let's go ahead and put the fertilizer back for now. We only have one hoe, I believe, on us. Do we have an extra hoe in here? No, I think we broke them. So we have one wooden hoe. Let's take some logs. I think 3 will be enough. So we need 10 sticks, which we have in spades. Okay. I'd like to take some more knives up with us when we go in the morning to recruit more people. We could actually go recruit more people now. It's not really going to be a problem, and worry about the field later. Let's do that. Let's put our stone hoes back for now. And we're going to grab all of these stones and sticks for a moment. And we're going to go ahead and craft as many knives as we can to sell up north, so that we can get somebody to start getting us logs, because that is going to be a slog with this area. So let's go ahead and put our sticks back. Now, we do have the recipe for stone arrows. That was stupid. I just used all of our sticks, or all of our stones for knives, which is great for money, but we need rocks for arrows still, and that was not probably my most intelligent move there. But we should have a bunch of them respawned because the season's changed. So we're going to go ahead and get a bath and a drink. And then we're going to come out to this peninsula because we've consistently been finding quite a few rocks over here. So I really want at least 20 rocks. Shouldn't take too long. Not over here. So I think stones are going to be our next target after we get the person for logs. We're going to try to work on getting a extraction hut up and running, because we are definitely going to start going through stones very quickly, very soon. Alright, some extra plantains never hurt, because that is health. Alright, yeah, we're already at 15 rocks. It's not going to take that long to get to 20. Doop, doop, Doop. Doop. Oh, well, there's 21. Alright. How are we doing on sticks? Okay, we have enough sticks too. And I know that we kept back 20 feathers, so we should have enough to make 20 arrows. Which puts us a little bit less than what I normally like to carry. I like to be between 25 and 30, but realistically that's probably plenty. So we'll go ahead and grab our feathers. Oh, I had 30 feathers. Alright, let's go get 10 more. Because that'll put us where I like to be. So I'm going to grab some of these sticks. There ought to be some rocks elsewhere around here too. Because that wasn't the only place that had them. There was just a really high concentration there. But all of them should have respawned. Seriously? Just pick the damn plantain. Alright, I guess we're going all the way back over here. Here we go. There we are. So a bunch of plantains through here too. Hopefully we'll get enough that we can afford to put some in storage. So I like to keep at least a full health bar worth of healing items on me, just in case things go belly up. So, and I mean, you can use them right away, because when you tab to get to your inventory, it pauses the game. So, as long as you've got health items on you, having a full health bar worth of health items means just that. You basically have twice as much health, provided you don't get one shot with a headshot from those damned archers. But, other than that, you're pretty safe. Right, I put the hunting shed around back. I keep forgetting that. Alright, so let's come on in here, and we will go to the workbench, and we'll make 3 crafts because they do 10 apiece. Oh, right, we don't have to wait for 3 cycles. Completely forgot. Again. Okay, so there's 33 arrows. That's going to put us in great shape. I feel much more comfortable with our bow now. Okay. So, I don't think we really have enough time to go up north and grab or look for people at the moment. Before stream would end, we would be stuck up there. Ooh. Oh, it didn't take as many rocks as I thought it did, so we just have extra rocks now. That's fantastic. That is not going to hurt anything. So, well, let's take them. If we're going, we may as well go all in, right? Go big or go home. But yeah, I think that's where we'll start out next time, because it is about that time, guys. So we're probably going to close down the stream here. We'll start out next time by going up north to Rolnica and Tukti and them, and try to get somebody to run the log station for us. I wouldn't mind putting a couple of axes into storage for them so we can assign them remotely and not have to be back here to do it. But yeah, so if you learned anything useful or if you had a good time tonight, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, have a fantastic rest of your guys' night. And thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good rest of your night.